Yo's the Reggae Sunshiners. We're here on the grounds of Draxall Estate in the wonderful parish, the Garden Parish of Jamaica. Jamaica has 14 parishes, 3 counties, Cornwall, Middlesex and Surrey. Joining me here, absolutely privileged to come here in his presence, joining me here for a live reasoning on the Reggae Sunshine Show, a world exclusive. Yozi, Jamaica, blessed love and greetings. Wagwan.
Yeah, blessed love, Ginjahman. Pick up yourself and the whole
Reggae Sunshiners, this is Jamaica, and before we get into the reasoning, Jamaica's just quickly just going to explain to you what the actual term of sound clash is. Jamaica.
Sound clash. Well, blessed love and greetings once again to each and everybody listening. And yeah, we're going to introduce the interview. We're going to start it with the sound clash introduction. And to everybody that doesn't know, sound clash is basically a battle between one or two or several other sound systems or groups of DJs that form their own crew and built their own dub box, which is built of custom reggae songs by your favorite reggae artist that calls your name in the song now, making it your own custom that nobody else can play. And then you would take that versus the next sound's custom dub plates and present it to the audience in the best way that you can. And then that usually involves whether it's dissing the other person or calling out their song and playing a better song than they have, or basically a battle of who can deliver the best to the audience with their customized music. So entertainment at its highest featured through reggae music.
Total intimidation, straight across.
Yeah, it can be. You know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah.
It depends on the situation, but yeah, it seems like right now it's a musical war. So with that being said, you know, it can be very aggressive and intimidating to certain people, or not to the audience, but to the other sounds maybe. You want to intimidate them to, you know, stand out more maybe.
And went down to the nitty gritty, we get to like first round, second round,
Right.
third round, no 45s, strictly dubs.
Most of the clashes are strictly dub, but some have 45. When I was in the US Rumble, they were allowing 45s you could play up until the last round, and then it was strictly dub played.
Okay.
So yeah.
And
Yeah, it depends on the format of the sound clash.
regards to simply, before we get into the main reasoning once again as well, we're just quickly going into the background. Jamaica One Sound was created in West Virginia University in 2003. From college radio from U92 FM in 2007. Moved on to Nevada City. Linked up with DJ Redlocks from Kiev AMRs. The culture program, which enabled Jamaica to get his broadcasting certificate.
Which I had in West Virginia already.
Which you already had in West Virginia,
Yeah.
Also, Jamaica has been in a wonderful position to bring artists over, reggae heavyweights such as Junior One Blood Reed, Michael Grammy Rose, Israel Vibrations, to just name a few. So, Jamaica, born and raised, where were you? Where were your roots?
Born in West Virginia.
You were born in West Virginia.
And then
that's where your roots are. Yeah.
And then at the age of 10, we moved to Central New York, which is Syracuse area. It's about 4 or 5 hours from New York City, but the central part of the whole state of New York. And then I stayed there till I graduated high school, and then I applied to West Virginia University, and I got accepted, and I went back there. But after college, actually, after high school, I did 2 years of community college in New York. And then from there, went to West Virginia. And then they didn't really have like a really strong reggae program or scene there. And then coming from New York and being already like into the whole music scene, especially reggae and dancehall, I was like, we got to do a better job at the college. And so then I got involved with the radio, and I got my own show in reggae and dancehall, and took it from there.
So from a very early age, reggae really wasn't, through your teens, you wouldn't say reggae was at the forefront of what that's what you were actually listening to.
Till about mid-high school. You know, you go through everything else, and then about 10th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, and then I really got into the Rasta culture and reggae music and the whole message and the militancy and the lifestyle.
I'm sure you wouldn't mind, but we'll get into Rastafari
Yeah, man.
later in the reasoning. But so what artists were you aware of when you were growing up in your trees?
For me, it was
who were you
like
listening to?
Sizzla, Anthony B,
Anthony B.
Capleton would
Yeah,
be
right,
my top. Like that
Yeah.
right then was,
Okay.
you know, really the catching the fire and
Yeah.
very motivating and inspiring and encouraging to live a certain lifestyle and carry yourself a certain way. Kind of, you know, like your theme song of a lifestyle that you wanted to live.
Yeah.
If you could tap into that, you know what I mean? And that's what I got from that. And then, like, as the music grew and brought me even to this area, was because artists like Chezidek, Perfect. And then at that time, Richie Spice just got popular, and Chuck Fender just got popular, and Phantom Moser just got, you know what I mean? At that time, it was just all the cultural artists.
Yeah.
I seemed like that came after the Sizzla, Anthony B, and Capleton. But then when that spewed, you know what I mean? It seemed to just, you know, build from there.
Yeah. But you know, it's. I mean, you know, reggae music. For probably this past 10 or 15 years, has slightly tended to have a little backstep regards to the main genre of music here in Jamaica, because dancehall and bashment
Right, more hardcore dancehall, yeah.
is in an abundance now.
Yeah.
And my perception of it, in some ways, it's diluted the music.
Yeah, totally.
It's diluted the music.
The culture, everything, you know, it's
Yeah.
hard to say or admit, but yeah, you can't deny it.
You know, and even when you're talking to the artists who were up and coming at the time, I mean, Phantom Moja,
Right,
Anthony B, Sizzla,
right.
you know, big names.
Big, yeah. Man.
Big names in the
Right.
music business of reggae
Right.
culture.
Yeah.
You know, so them were the main three you were.
Yeah, I would give it
say
to
you were
them,
attached
yeah.
to.
That was, you know, it started the fire for real, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, moving on to the sound clash culture, as I said to you previous, sound clash culture has an extremely high profile reputation of just killing people right on the spot. Mikey, how would you deal with that sort of?
It just happened, to be honest. Like,
Yeah.
so I played music, and then I built a brand, Mikey One, and I'm like, I'm DJing.
So
and
when
I'm
was
playing.
the actual brand built?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
I was Mikey One from when I started DJing in college. That was always my DJ
That
name.
was your DJ name.
And I played music, from 2003, and then I moved to California in 2007. And in 2008, I was like, all right, I'm gonna start cutting dub plates. I'm gonna brand. That's when I feel like I branded the sound and said I'm gonna get artists to endorse it, and then also I wanted, you know, the reggae world to see that I was serious about it too. Now he's building a sound. He's cutting dub plates. He's not just trying to be a DJ. So that's kind of how it happened, and then I realized how expensive that was. So it's like you could only, and it's just me.
It
A
ain't
lot of
cheap.
these sounds.
Yeah, cutting dubs ain't cheap, right?
And it's a lot of people. It's now I have a sound by myself, which is cool because that's kind of how I am. I didn't have a crew. I always played music by myself and talked by myself. So I didn't have anybody else to carry the load. But then when I invested into the brand and into the culture, into sound system and sound clash, it was all on me. You know what I mean? And it still is. Compared to, like, people need to realize when you clash a sound that has 4 or 5 or 6. Some sounds have a boss that pays for the dubs, or some sounds have 6 guys that put in a little bit. You know what I mean? So it's not as stressful. So you're competing against that as well, but you know.
Your very first sound clash? When was your very first sound clash?
First sound clash was 2014. So it's 10 years after playing music, you know, and the first sound clash happened, I wouldn't say by mistake, but at first it was booked as a 45. There was a clash in Mendocino County. Big up to Gorilla Takeover, because they're the ones that put me in Sound Clash and exposed me to even the scene in California. They first initially booked me for a 1-on-1 45 Sound Clash that was going to be followed by a dubplate clash, and it was going to be like the early warm-up, and it fell through. And then they linked me again and they said, all right, we're not going to do that, but we're going to do a regular dubplate clash. And everybody else who was going to be a part of it just changed the lineup or whatever, but they said everyone agreed to do a dubplate clash. At that time, I wasn't even like putting myself out there like that. It just happened, and they said, do you still want to do it? And I said, all right, because I was gonna do the 45 clash, because you know what I mean, just
To
get familiar, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then they said, no, we're just doing dub plate. If you want to be in it, you can be. And I said, all right. And I was in it, and I used what I had. It wasn't a very long clash. The rounds, I think, were 10 minutes. I didn't have a whole heap of dubs. I even cut dubs at the end to, you know what I mean, make sure if I made it to the end, I had some tune for tune. And I went out so aggressively. That's all I can really say from that time. More aggressively than I anticipated, but something just got to me, and I wasn't happy the way the other sounds that played before me were presenting themselves, and then I was like, all right, I'm going in. And I went in hard, and I made it all the way to the end, which was tune for tune. And that clash was had judges. It wasn't based on the crowd until tune for tune. So throughout I think it was 3 or 4 rounds, throughout the rounds, they had a panel of judges, and there was like points for music played, speeches made, crowd response. They had all these categories and how to add point system to it. So throughout the rounds, I did good, and I went to tune for tune based on the judges' vote. And then at tune for tune, they said it was based on the audience. And I went there with my girlfriend at the time and my sister, and the other crew that I faced in tune for tune was small acts. They had a boatload of people, you know, and they were actually winning. I think it was best of 10. They were winning 4-0 or 4-1, and I came back.
So you 4 went down.
Yeah, came back and we tied it, and then at the end, I can't remember what song they played. Max Romeo put on an iron shirt. You know, and he was playing Serato on the vinyl at the time, and I remember he played it and it like skipped, so it didn't even play clean. I think I can't even remember. I'm not even gonna say what I played because I can't remember at the time. But I thought the rest of the audience, I had them at that point, you know what I mean? And they were rooting for me, but the majority of his crowd was up front, and he won the dance by 1 point, you know? But it was a great experience. And that basically, there was a lot of people there from the Oakland area, from the Bay Area, that traveled to this clash, which was about 4 hours from the city. It's way out in the country, in Mendocino. And from that point, they contacted me, Junglist contacted me, who puts on the Border Clash in Oakland year to year. So he said, we like the way you performed, we want you in the Border Clash. And then I joined the Border Clash and went against Guerrilla Takeover, who was the promoters of the other clash, and they have a long history, a lot longer than mine, and been cutting dubs for maybe 10 years longer than me. So they had a really heavy dub box, and still do, one of the best dub boxes in California. So I was like, all right, it was another one of those situations that he offered me the opportunity. I wasn't as loaded as everyone else, but I didn't want to say no. So I said, all right, and I did good, and we went tune for tune. Me and Guerrilla went all the way to the end, tied it. They played a Toots. I can't remember. I gotta get better at remembering those songs at those specific situations. I remember what the other sounds played, but not me so much. But anyway, they played Toots and the Maytals. I played something else. We went to, it tied. They did a draw. They said it was a tie, and that was for the win. So we went extra song. And it was, next song wins. Then they played Junior Marvin, Police and Thieves. And I played Freddie McGregor, I'm a Winner. And it was done. So it was like, it was just a good example of, taking advantage of the opportunity. And like I said, everybody in the clash's dub boxes were way bigger than mine. But then, I went to the end and I won it. And that's basically started it. The Border Clash I won. And then, within the next year we went to Jamaica. The Border Clash, though, I won 3 consecutive years, just like I did the War Zone here. So every time I came down to St. Anne's or even Jamaica for that time for the New Year's, the last 3 years or 4 years now, I've come is because of Ibamar's New Year's Eve party that he has, the stage show in Linston. Every year, Iba has put me on his show to play music. So from that's how I said Bosi Sound Clash.
That's how we cut.
So this will be the 4th year in a row this Friday.
Well, obviously, I think it was 2016. Was it 2017? Supreme Sound, which was at Marley Street.
Was that
2017?
No, that
2016.
I think you're right, 17.
17.
Yeah. 16 was the first year, and that was versus Black Culture in Cutstone, like alley, outside.
Now the old, along Harbour Street,
Yeah.
Now, unfortunately, I missed that clash, the first
Alright,
one.
yeah.
The second one, hence when I was introduced to you up Marley Street.
Yeah.
Now, last year.
Oh, and then it got bigger
last year.
Yeah.
Now, that was it. Warzone Sound Clash, which was held at Kalaki Beach.
Yeah, which is Burning Spears land, which is Chezzy's old spot for Rub-a-Dub camp.
Now, you were up against Chronic Supreme.
Chronic Supreme, which is an area sound from Ochi.
From Ochi, right. Now, last year, I've been involved in some things, extremely fortunate over the years with the music circle. I've never experienced anything like that in all my musical journey. I thought the atmosphere was absolutely superb. I thought the attendance was in an abundance.
Right.
However, how you managed to hold your nerve, the personal insults, what we're aimed at, and you know, sometimes with knowing you're on a personal level, I speak to you, Mikey, what?
Yeah.
I see you to Sound Clash. You're a completely different person.
Yeah.
You know, and and sometimes it better emulates what people say. Some people know me as Neil, some know me as Ginjahman.
Right.
The minute Ginjahman goes on radio, Ginjahman ain't no Neil.
Exactly.
So
that's
once
just
again,
a level of professionalism.
As I touched on it previously earlier on in the reasoning. How do you deal with such personal insults regards to...
I don't know, to me, I mean, I guess to the average person, they'd be like taken back by it, but to me, I kind of think it's corny, because it's kind of, you're almost stating the obvious, and you're trying to make an insult, so it's not that creative, so to me, it doesn't really get under my skin so much. I guess it's not so good that I tell everybody that, but, if that's their strategy, then I'm ready for it, kind of. But they try to draw the race card a little bit. But I feel like that's when they don't have anything else to bring to the table. They run out of songs, or they're not getting what they want, so they get frustrated, and then start cussing me about things you can't do anything about.
I did notice a certain instance last year. It'd be this time last year, wouldn't it? You were coming. You were killing him. You were absolutely killing him. And I can remember I was killing myself in the corner when you said, "Look at the boy. He's trying to figure out these next songs. What are coming. He can't come back up. He
right. Yeah.
He was completely flat.
Exactly.
And I think the scoring. I think you ended up beating him 3-0.
Yeah, we didn't. And then at the end, they wanted to play tune for tune, and I said no. Yeah. But it was done. It was what it was, and it was. I know we have to look past all that, and like Sound Clash again, it's about entertainment and presenting your music, your custom music, to the audience as best way as you can. And some people think that the best way to do it is by insulting somebody without very much creativity, or like I said, stating the obvious, or just saying, they like to draw that card, hey white boy. But to me, I don't feel like it's that effective, and even to the crowd. But that night in particular, it was funny because I went with a few of my friends that have never seen me, Jamaicans who've never seen me Sound Clash. So we're standing in the dance and they're hearing the insults and they're like, "Don't worry, Mikey, it's all right. That's part of." Like they didn't know that I already was fine with it, or it didn't mean anything. So it was funny. So then after that, and I went and defended myself, they were like, "All right, we don't have to give him anything. He knows what's going on." And it's funny. To me, it's corny, I think,
This year, 2019, which is this coming Friday. Obviously, Cutstone Studio, massive influence with Bossy Killer. Big up Bossy Killer, by the way, Edward Harris.
The whole Cutstone.
Big up Bossy and all the Cutstone family. It's been moved from the venue from St Anne's Bay, which is now going to be held in Club Amnesia in Ochi.
In Amnesia, which is an established nightclub in Ochi. If you've ever been, it's on a rooftop. They have regular reggae, dancehall, juggling events throughout the week, and I don't know. I think it's cool because like I said, it's established club, you know, and before it was going to be at the bus park, but like you said, the last few years it's been in St. Anne's.
Yeah.
For one reason or another, they don't want it to keep there, so we're moving it to Ochi, which is only right down the road.
Yeah.
But
And now you're up against two sounds
and,
this year?
Yeah, now there's a sound from England, Venus, that came in at the last minute, and King Shiloh from Canada.
Yeah.
So.
I'm aware of Venus Sound, which are based in Luton, Bedfordshire, in the UK.
Yeah.
Bring a bit of a noise with them. I'm sure nothing phases you whatsoever.
Yeah, I've been trying to check in, but I just gotta focus on me more than them, you know what I mean?
Definitely, yeah.
And just, be ready for it. I'm looking forward to it, you know.
So, if we just slightly go off the sound class for a moment in regards to the, where do you see reggae at the minute? Where do you actually see reggae?
Well, it's everywhere. It's like what we're focusing on because, there's mainstream reggae.
Yeah.
That everyone wants to get a piece of, and then like the whole dance hall that turned like Afrobeat now that is playing in all of the parties now. There's that Afrobeat juggling that I think came from dance hall, from reggae. But now I don't know, we're looking for the next rising stars. You know.
And I think some people are probably unaware that hip hop is an offshoot from reggae. From Uri.
Of course.
It was obviously Uri was, General Trees from the Sturgarv era.
Yeah.
That was the birth of hip hop.
Yeah,
when Uri was jumping on and just toasting over there. Right. So there's Jamaican music is steeped in history.
Right.
Right from the very beginnings when you had Kamina, then Mento, Ska, Rocksteady, Reggae, Lovers Rock, which is obviously derived from my neck of the woods in the United Kingdom and UK, Lovers Rock.
Yeah.
But it's massive outside of Jamaica, isn't it? Reggae, it's huge.
I think, even touching in on just specifically reggae, like you're saying, more people, like I've been to a lot of these parties in Kingston, and here there's not even a reggae or cultural juggling anymore in the party. It's just dancehall, hip-hop, maybe some Afrobeat, but before you would go and you'd hear some of the Richie Spice or, some Sizzla, some Capleton, some Anthony B, but now I feel like you don't get that at all because they don't have a hot song on these latest rhythms. It's really the young dance artists that have taken over the whole party and I guess the music scene here in Jamaica, but like you're saying, reggae is still big, maybe, I don't want to say bigger, but it's big other places too, for sure.
A lot of the rhythm builders from outside of Jamaica,
True. Europe. As far as reggae goes, you're right.
Yeah. I mean, years and years ago, you'd find it a bit strange to hear one of the top range artists actually coming out of Cologne in Germany, which is Ginjahman.
Right. Yeah.
Ginjahman's massive name.
Yeah.
He's German.
And did a whole album with Richie Stevens.
That's right.
Just to combine. Just to show how big of an artist he is to be able to do that with another Jamaican artist that's so established,
Yeah.
So,
Reggae Sunshiners, once again, we're here. We're live reasoning. With my good friend Mikey One Sound. Once again, we're here in the grounds of Draxall Estate, here in the wonderful Garden Parish of Jamaica, St. Anne. You're joining me live alongside Mikey. So, once again, Mikey, touching on back to the sound clashing.
More clash.
More clash. What have plans for 2019?
More clash. Alright, so I have this one on Friday, and then actually my next clash is next month, February 23rd, in New Jersey.
That's in New Jersey,
Versus Cosmic Sound, who I've clashed already before in California, and another sound from New Jersey. Well, Cosmic's from Brooklyn, but a sound from Jersey called Cultural Blend. So it's a three the hard way. It's called One Shot, One Kill. Big up Banky Hype and the whole Roadblock family making that possible. Wheezy vibes. And then I'm looking forward to having more clashes. I'm trying to network and communicate and make that happen. And
I would love to see you over in the UK.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Exactly.
Have you?
I've never been. No, I've never been over the sea that way. But it's something to do.
That's got to be made. To somehow try and get you over the UK.
I would
seriously.
love to do that.
And that's breaking even more barriers for you.
Right. And I feel like my dub box and kind of my presentation of music, I feel like would do good over there.
Definitely. 100. You go down the stool. Definitely.
So yeah, that definitely, I'd love to do that. If not 19, you know, to 2020,
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, traveling as much as possible with Soundclash seems to be making me move a little bit more than juggling, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I want to do that as well.
It's pretty big
you know.
in the UK.
Yeah,
Soundclash, yeah. Definitely, it's pretty big in the UK.
Exactly. And I'm trying to get out there in the juggling sense too, because people think I just sound clash or play music, just dub plate clashing aggressive style. But I have 3 radio shows,
Yeah.
and I play music out, you know, regularly. So I'm trying to break that barrier of not just being a clash sound, that I can juggle and sound clash. You know?
From a radio presenter's point of view, do you get a lot out of the music as well, being a radio presenter? I actually find it personally more personal,
Right.
being a radio presenter,
Right.
as opposed to selecting music.
Yeah.
You know,
Definitely. Well, you have that opportunity to take something that means so much to you
Yeah.
and just deliver it, you know? And
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's great to have that outlet and yeah, to be given those opportunities on the radio to have listeners, you know what I mean? So I got a big up Irish and Chin. I'm on International Rollout Wednesdays every Wednesday, which is, you know, the people that put on World Clash. That's a worldwide program. And Roadblock Radio, I have a show every Thursday. And then where I live in California is KVMR's community radio station. I have a show every other Thursday. So it's 3 pretty different outlets, you know, from where I live in California to 2 stations on the East Coast, and one of them out of New York, the Irish and Chin, is pretty international, worldwide, you know.
So Jamaica one song never goes to sleep?
No, I sleep.
Yeah. But music aside, I'm sure you wouldn't mind me asking you, Rastafarianism?
Yeah, I live in a Rasta
Massive,
life. Yeah.
massive part of your
Yeah.
of your personal life.
Yeah.
How did Rastafari come about in
Through reggae music, you know, of
Yeah.
course, because you get introduced to it from listening to Bob Marley.
How far are we going back with Rasta?
I would say like 10th grade. So, yeah, I haven't cut my hair since 2000. So I've grown my locks since then, almost 20 years. So yeah, once I got attracted to that whole culture and the music and the message and, you know, the
Do you
philosophy
sometimes
of
find
Haile
it? Do
Selassie.
you sometimes find it difficult with leading such a conscious lifestyle because of the isms and schisms?
I
where
know
it
I
must be
think
so
about it
difficult,
sometimes, but
yeah.
I'm so far in it already too that it's like I still have to represent for you know what I mean, what I'm doing.
I know it's a massive. I know
And
it's a
I've
massive
gotten
part
nothing
of
but
it.
respect from both aspects of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From people in the Sound Clash and even people from Rasta culture be like, you stand like Haile Selassie on the battlefield, you know what I mean? And I take that, like you say, wake the lion, you know, when they, you know what I mean? So it's all within me, and it's just basically what is developed to be presented to everybody else, you know? Because that has come first before I was even DJing. It was just the inspiration through the music and through His Majesty to live the lifestyle. And then, you love the music, you love the culture. Then you're like, all right, I'm DJing. I'm gonna start cutting some dubs. Oh, they want to clash me, so. But like, I take it serious, so I'm not. It's 24 hours, like you said. I don't sleep. A lot of people, I feel like, get in America. I can speak for. Like, they DJ reggae music, but they listen to techno, or they like hip hop, or you know what I mean. For me, this is it. It's reggae and dancehall and Jamaican culture, you know, and Sound Clash culture. Is my lifestyle and Rastafari, you know what I mean? So
enough respect.
So just naturally how it has been presented and developed within me for everyone else to see.
Regards to your personal achievements in life, which would, if you could pinpoint a certain aspect in your
In
life,
music?
where you really thought, do you know something?
I mean, like, the last few years, I mean, within the last year even has been great. I was able to be on the stage US Rumble in the Bronx this year. The winner goes to World Clash. The winner was Dynamic, who has gotten so much attention this year. And it just shows you the platform of that staging, you know? So I would have to say the biggest achievement in music with Sound Clashes has to be being a contestant in US Rumble. And I went to the end, he locked off the dance, but I still consider myself amongst everybody else, I feel like, as the runner-up in the clash.
Yeah.
You know, and it was very difficult, not only as you face all the trials and tribulations of sound clash, but that night in particular, the sound system was awful.
Yeah.
And he who won the clash dynamic, respected dynamic, he had a different set and he played on CDJs, but his sound sounded good. Everybody else who played on the other controllers, it didn't sound right. So you had to go, you know, not only facing the crowd of the Bronx, 600, 700 New Yorkers just looking at you tough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The sound wasn't as clear as it needed to be, so it was, you know, it was what it was. So he walked off the dance, dynamic won, but I still got a lot of attention, I feel like, from having that opportunity. And my goal is to be in US Rumble, if not this year, you know, next year, but I'm still, you know, counting to be in there this year. So I'm working towards that, and not by asking for it or telling them I need to be, by putting in the work now. By having this clash, I have a next clash next month in New Jersey, and I'm working on other clashes before May to say, all right, by May I've gotten a few clashes under my belt. I'm making noise on the West Coast and worldwide. How can you not have me in the big clash? So with that being said, with all the works that will continue to be done, you know, hopefully I can present myself with that argument and it will be good.
Yeah. So
yeah.
as we gradually conclude this live reason here once again on Draxall Estate and the wonderful parish of St Anne, on behalf of everybody from Six Towns Radio, Stoke-on-Trent, Mothertown, Burslem, Mikey, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Ginjahman.
And I will definitely see you on Friday.
Yeah, Friday, we'll see, you know.
Myself and I think there's King Shotter.
King Shiloh, yeah.
Yeah, and Venus Sound. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute wonderful event.
For sure, it's going to be
On
great.
behalf of everybody from Six Towns Radio, 4,000 miles away in the UK, thank you so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Ginjahman. Yeah.
Bless you, love and greetings.
Man, every time.
Reggae Sunshiners, this is the world exclusive reasoning with Mikey, Ginjahman signing out.
All right.
Blessed.
Blessed.